शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। Gayatri, go and mute yourself. Oh, Gayatri is next, is it? Oh, Priya, say. Okay. I thought by mistake you got it. Okay, let us chant from 15. ज्ञानयज्ञेन चाप्यन्ये
Can you repeat, Mahodaya sir?
ज्ञानयज्ञेन चाप्यन्ये
ज्ञानयज्ञेन चाप्यन्ये
यजन्तो मामुपासते
यजन्तो मामुपासते
एकत्वेन पृथक्त्वेन
एकत्वेन पृथक्त्वेन
बहुधा विश्वतो मुखम्
बहुधा विश्वतो मुखम्
अहं क्रतुरहं यज्ञः
अहं क्रतुरहं यज्ञः
स्वधाहमहमौषधम्
स्वधाहमहमौषधम्
मन्त्रोऽहमहमेवाज्यम्
मन्त्रोऽहमहमेवाज्यम्
अहमग्निरहं हुतम्
अहमग्निरहं हुतम्
पिताहमस्य जगतः
पिताहमस्य जगतः
माता धाता पितामहः
माता धाता पितामहः
वेद्यं पवित्रमोङ्कारः
वेद्यं पवित्रमोङ्कार
ऋक्सामयजुरेव च
ऋक्सामयजुरेव च
गतिर्भर्ता प्रभुः साक्षी
गतिर्भर्ता प्रभुः साक्षी
निवासः शरणं सुहृत्
निवास शरणं सुहृत्
प्रभवः प्रलयस्थानम्
प्रभवत् प्रलयस्थानं
निधानं बीजमव्ययम्
निधानं बीजमव्ययम्
तपाम्यहमहं वर्षम्
तपाम्यहमहं वर्षम्
निगृह्णाम्युत्सृजामि च
निहृन्नां युध्यस्रामि च
अमृतं चैव मृत्युश्च
अमृतं चैव मृत्युश्च
तदसच्चाहमर्जुन
सदच्चाहमर्जुन
त्रैविद्या मां सोमपाः पूतपापाः
त्रैविद्या मां सोमपापूतपापा
यज्ञैरिष्ट्वा स्वर्गतिं प्रार्थयन्ते
यज्ञैरिष्ट्वा स्वर्गं प्रार्थयन्ते
ते पुण्यमासाद्य सुरेन्द्रलोकम्
ते पुण्यमासाद्य सुरेन्द्रलोकम्
अश्नन्ति दिव्यान् दिवि देवभोगान्
अश्नन्ति दिव्यान्ति विदेव भोगान्
once again त्रैविद्या मां सोमपाः पूतपापाः
त्रैविद्या मां सोमपाः पूतपापा
यज्ञैरिष्ट्वा स्वर्गतिं प्रार्थयन्ते
यज्ञैरिष्ट्वा स्वर्गतिं प्रार्थयन्ते
ते पुण्यमासाद्य सुरेन्द्रलोकम्
ते पुण्यम् आसाद्य सुरेन्द्रलोकम्
अश्नन्ति दिव्यान् दिवि देवभोगान्
अश्नन्ति दिव्यान्ति विदेव भोगान्
yeah. So after Bhagavan talked about his Vishwarupa, mini Vishwarupa if you want to call it, starting from shloka number 16, Aham Kratuhu, Aham Yajnaha, etc. It's not really mini. If you start analyzing Kratuhu, Yajnam and all that, and then if we look at every action we do as a Yajna, then you can see that he has covered everything. So until 19 he said that, and then here 20 and 21 he's going to talk about Bhaktaha. So his own Bhaktas is going to tell us that there are Sakama Bhaktaha and there are Nishkama Bhaktaha. Here it is Sakama Bhaktaha, 20 and 21. Okay. So we saw that last time. Anything I do for Dharma, Artha and Kama is going to be Sakama Bhakti. And even Dharma comes in that category. Even Dharma. I want to do good to others also comes under that category. Sakama Bhakti. It's a good kind of bhakti, no doubt. Definitely Dharma supersedes everything else. And so that is why Dharma is always highlighted. But once we study Vedanta, we begin to understand that that bhakti is also Sakama Bhakti. But especially if I want to do Dharma so that I can gain Punyam. Okay? If I do that, then that is Sakama Bhakti. But I want to do good to others because that is the only thing left to be done. There is nothing else. And Panchamaha Yajna I have to do. And whether I get Punyam and Papan, it doesn't matter to me. If somebody says, and then that can be categorized as Nishkama Bhakti. Nishkama Bhakti. Because because the focus is on others and not getting anything in return. Not getting anything in return, that is the intention, then it becomes Nishkama Bhakti. Okay. Even though we saw long ago that there is no such thing called not getting anything in return. Correct? Atmavare Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. We saw that. Okay. And that is why you have to come to the next, which is moksha. So, antakarana shuddhyartam aham idam karomi. If I say, then the whole equation changes. Because antakarana shuddhi is only, it itself is not an end. The end game is recognizing my aikyam with Ishvara, my true nature. That already accomplished moksha has to be recognized, has to be owned up. That is my goal. So we saw that the different types of bhakti, manda bhakti, madhyama bhakti, uttama bhakti. That is how we saw it last time. And so in this shloka, he is describing some people. Okay. See, what are the words he is using? Traividyaha, somapaha, putapapaha. Okay. He is using those. These are the people. This is the noun in this subject in this shloka. Okay. Traividyaha. This is a very popular usage. Traividya means three Vedinaha. People who are knowledgeable in one or more of the three Vedas. And it's an interesting usage. Even knowing very well that Chaturvedaha, Chaturmukha Brahma, still Krishna is saying three Vedas. And the reason it is said is because they talk about three types of granthas, texts that can be there. Okay. One is, Padya Rupa Grantha, Padya Rupa, metrical, poetical, in a metrical form. Okay. And Rig Veda is metrical. Okay. Then Yajurveda is, the first one is Gadya Rupa. Padya, Gadya. No, first is Padya, I said it right. Padya Rupa is Rig Veda. Then Gadya Rupa. Gadya means prose. Prose, in the form of prose. Anything in the form of prose will come in this category of Yajurveda. And then Gana Rupa Vedaha. Gana Rupa is Sama. And what about Atharvana Veda? Atharvana Veda it will be in one of these three categories. And therefore they call it as Traividyaha. Okay? And we saw that in the previous shloka also, I think, is it not? No, not true. Next shloka it's going to come. Trayi Dharmam is going to come. Next shloka is going to come. So this is the meaning of Traividya means Chaturvedinaha. Traividyaha. That is to be remembered. Okay. So in case there is a doubt, what happened? Why does it say Chaturvidyaha? Okay. Okay. So these people are knowledgeable people. Very knowledgeable. At least in one Veda, Ekavedi, Dvivedi, Trivedi, Chaturvedi. All these people are there. And what do? They are Somapaha. They are Somapaha. Somam. Somayaga Kartaraha. Somayaga Kartaraha. Somayaga. There is something called a Somayaga. And they, like Vajapeyi, Yajna, etc., Vishwadityaga, all these things are there. This Somayaga is very important because once they do the Somayaga, and then in the Somayaga, there is a Soma plant, herb is there, and from that herb, this juice is extracted. Soma juice is extracted. That juice is offered to Bhagavan. Okay, Agnaye idam somam dadami, Agnaye swaha, like that it's given. And then after that, whatever is remaining is to be taken as prasada by the Yajamana and whoever else is involved with that person. And so the literal meaning of the somapa means what? Somam pibati iti somapaha. Te somapaha. One who drinks the soma juice of that herb is called somapaha. That's why Swamiji says sometimes this is mistranslated as the drinkers of soma juice. Because that is the literal meaning of this word. Swamiji says, no, it's not true. It's not just simply drinking. You can't drink sometime and say, I want to, and I get the benefits of Soma. No, you have to, as part of this Soma Yaga, that person consumes it, therefore called Somapaha. And then what happens if you do Soma Yaga? They become Puta Papaha. Puta Papaha. Puta Papaha means free of Papa. Free of Papa. Obviously, it's a big thing because Papa has been done, and so all this demerit is sitting in my account, and so how can I get rid of the Papa? There, the Vedas recommends this Soma Yaga, and so they become Puta Papaha Bhavanti. Somapaha Puta Papaha Bhavanti, and now. Okay, that means what? Predominantly, a lot of Papa has been neutralized. That is the meaning. Okay, and so now what happens? Bhagavan is going to give a. It's like getting a blank check. You have a lot of punyam, but still you have to choose. Only we get only what we choose. And so, what do you want? Okay, this is what is being asked. And further, okay, yajnaihi, by yajnas, other than Soma yajna also, any other yajnas that are there, there are many like that, yajnaihi, by so many yajnas, like Agnishtoma, Vishwajit, Vajapeya, etc. Like so many yagas are there, and by all those yajnas, taihi yajnaihi, mam ishtva, mam ishtva. Ishtva means Aradhya. Having worshipped me, having invoked me, Mam Ishtva, okay, like Agneya Swaha, Indraya Swaha, Varunaya Swaha, etc. Mam Ishtva. And then what? Now they have to ask Prarthayante. Prarthayante. They ask, they request, they pray for. Okay, Prarthayante. And what do they Prarthayante? What do they ask? Swargatim prarthayate. After all this effort, okay, Swargatim prarthayate, because that's the most popular destination. Okay, people can say, I went to this cruise and that Alaska and this thing and all. They can keep on giving a big list, but nobody can say, I went to Swarga. And that's a good thing actually, because just in case somebody returns from Swarga, you know what we will say? Wait a minute, you are supposed to be there forever. And how come you are here? Now we will start doubting after that. No, this Swarga, a bit risky. You can return from Swarga. So I think it's good that people don't say, I return from Swarga and all that. And so our fascination about Swarga continues to remain. And so Swargatim means Swargagatim. Swargagatim. Okay, and so with all this blank check, Shreyascha Preyascha Manushyametah, Kathoparishad, we're going to study. And so two things are there, it seems. A human being has two things that he or she can choose: Shreyas or Preyas. What do you want to choose? That is the question. And so finally, if after all this effort, Swamiji says, he chooses Preyas. Praise. Praise is Dharmartha Kama only. Swarga is also part of praise, correct? Praise. And so, that's why sometimes they say, Swami's joke, God knows what I want. Whatever he gives, I will take. This is the famous thing, I still remember. And so, God says, do you want moksha or do you want children? Nothing wrong with children. This is just an example. You have to enjoy the joke. That's all. And so they're eager to have children, and ego. God knows everything means what? God says you should get moksha. That is most important. And then the parents will say, I think we worship the wrong God. So God, that's it. We worship the wrong God. Okay, they are very polite. And you can't blame God.
And so, no, this God is different. I think we should have worshipped that God. There is a Sthala Vriksha there, and you must hang all these things. And then, if you do that, you get a baby. This we should have done. We should have listened to those neighbors. Instead, we listened to them. And I listened to you. You are the problem. Okay? And like that, husband and wife start fighting after God comes. This is all after God's visit. Okay? We start fighting. So this is how he says, this is what is happening. So therefore, so Bhagavan is like this shopkeeper. Shopkeeper means that vendor. And here we use the word shopkeeper. India, US, I have not heard shopkeeper and all. Vendor and all they say. Do they say shopkeeper? I don't know. I don't remember. No, they don't do that. Correct. So यहाँ पर तो shopkeeper. So keeper, he just keeps things. He doesn't tell you what you want. You decide what you want, and then you go to the store, you ask for what you want. And then he says, there you go. Here you want. This is what it is. This is what it is. Like that. You can only ask, what is the difference between these two? You can say, this is this rice and this is coming from Gujarat. This is basmati rice. All that he can say. But you have to decide what you want. And so, Bhagavan is a vendor, it seems, shopkeeper, it seems. Not an advisor also. Not even advisors. At least advice he should give me. Correct? Little bit, if I'm going in the wrong direction, you should tell me. That also he doesn't do. And it is like giving a cookie to a child, giving a cookie in one hand and keeping a gold biscuit in the other hand. Okay, golden biscuit. I've not seen it. I've only seen pictures of all these things. But we can imagine this shining golden biscuit. Cookie. Both look similar. And the child is not going. This gold biscuit, you can eat, try to eat it. Don't work. And so it goes after this cookie. This cookie doesn't know the value of this golden biscuit. And so like that, we don't go for the gold biscuit. We go for the world biscuit, right? And so that is how it is. And then te asadya, Surendra Lokam asadya. Asadya, now this fellow has reached heaven, okay? Now, Surendra Lokam Asadya, having reached this world, Surendra Lokam. Indra Lokam, Surendra Lokam. Sura means all devas. Indra is the pati, deva pati. And so that pati, Loka of the Indra, who is the lord of all suras. And you can't get a better Loka than that. And going there, and what kind of lokam it is? It is punyam. Punya lokam it is. It's punya lokam. Without punyam, you can't go there. And so punya lokam, very interesting it is, to see all these things. Because, our Vedanta is so dry. Once in a while we see all this. I also feel little excited to talk about it. But I can't talk much about it. That's the only problem. I didn't study all these things. The way in different worlds, what happens there, Indra, Urvashi, Ramba and all, I've not studied all this. But little bit we can say here, Punyam Asadya. Punyam Surendra Lokam Asadya. That Loka which is gained only through Punyam. Okay. And a lot of Punyam must be there. And filled with pleasures. Bhoga Lokam. Filled with pleasures only. And see, Paramarthanandaji is talking to a Chennai audience. So he gives a Chennai example. Okay? Chennai example. So I think you will appreciate it. There is something called a music season. I don't know, this also our Indians, Southern Indians will understand it. North Indians also should be able to understand. Music season means, especially in December, when Chennai is somewhat cooler and people are, the weather is good and things like that. And then music season. So one whole month, all artists come and go, and all the classical music. Okay, this is not some Shreya Ghoshal and all that. This is classical music, pure. Okay? They'll be sitting and singing. That's all. No dancing and this, that. So that kind of music, classical music season. And so he says, people come there and many of the concerts are all free. These are all free concerts. You just can go to any, and then free concerts, and so you come there. So especially for the connoisseur of classical music, it's just pure enjoyment. Okay, and then they have to go to a hotel called Woodlands. In Chennai is very popular. This area, this particular area is called Mylapore, and that's where all these concerts happen, especially during this season. And then they'll take an auto rickshaw and go to this Woodlands hotel, and you have to have some vada, sambar, and all that. And so that's so you have to top up your experience. After all this, you have to do all that. So because वहाँ पर they don't give all these things. செவிக்கு உணவு. For the years, you got a feast in the concert hall, Narada Gana Sabha. You got a nice feast. But what about feast for the stomach and tongue? It's important or not important? It's important, obviously. And so Woodlands is right there. So you go there. So idli, vada, and all you have. Then one more thing is that simply listening and all that is not enough. I am a karta. Bhokta, okay, bhokta is over. No, kartritva comes. How it comes? Now I become a critic, music critic. Because now I can sit and criticize this guy. Okay, it's a free concert I attended. Okay, now I keep on criticizing. He does not know how to do gamakas properly. In 5 places, he did not do gamaka. What kind of singer is it? Like this, I go on and on and on. So that so that's it. That whole day is just pakka. I'm just waiting for that moment. And so, anyway, let classical music be preserved. Very important for us to preserve it. My God, this music, nowhere else in the world you find this kind of music where Bhagavan is worshipped. Only object of all classical music is Ishvara. That's it. There is no my nachungi and all this not there in the classical music. Nothing. So I'm still amazed by it. So I think we have to. It's classical music is Upanishad for us. If you start looking at the words, you will be amazed at it. Be amazed. So it's no joke there. So Ashnanti, Krishna is using the word Ashnanti. Ashnanti literal meaning is Ash. This one Ashane in the sense of eating, consuming. They consume all this after going to this Svargaloka. Consume. So khao pio, moj manao. That's what they're doing. And what are they doing? Consuming Deva Bhogan. Deva Bhogan. Not ordinary Bhogan, not Laukika Bhu Bhogan. No. Deva Bhogan. Deva Bhogan. And celestial pleasures. So means just all sense organs must be just activated. Like in theme park. Once I went to the Cincinnati one theme park I went. I forgot what is it? I'm forgetting some names. So the theme park.
King's Island.
King's Island, correct.
King's Island.
Yeah, King's Island. And this they have this a pendulum. It's a ship. You sit in a ship, and then it just rocks, keeps on rocking. You wonder what is big deal about this. We have also rocked in our villages. We have all this unjal, that rocking swing we have at homes. We used to have. What is a big deal? And in fact, as kids, we used to push, and then it used to go all the way back, and then push, and then the thing used to hit the wall, and the walls and all, you'll find holes because of people like us, and then hitting the swing on the wall. And what is a big deal? And you sit in that, and this thing is going up and down, and it's going upper and downer, and then upper and downer, and it's going up like this. And then you go up there, and you feel as though you're falling down. And then he says, stop. And then they're not going to stop me. It doesn't matter. You study whatever Vedanta you want. And this stomach is because you feel like you're going to fall down somewhere. And so you see, this is the introduction. I think this was very close to the entrance or something. I still remember this. Maybe not. Anyway, this is how it is. And then you have all this vortex rides you have, and then it goes round and round, and then they complicate it even further. So it's not enough. This kind of excitement is not enough, because it's 2G, 3G gravity and all that, you got used to it. And so now they put smoke, they make you go through a tunnel, and dark and lights are flashing, then smoke has to come, and then they do all this stuff. After all this, there's only one problem with all this. Still, see, skin shaking, this and all is going on. So this chair has to shake. Then only you can feel that. Then what? Smell. Okay, smoke is there. So they put some smoke and all this. You might smell something. Then eyesight, of course, you're seeing all these things. Then what? Ears, something. They will put some music and whatever, the dinosaur, this, that, everything will come. But there is only one problem. What is missing? Tongue. Taste is missing. In all these rides, you can't taste anything. You can shout if you want, and they keep on shouting. But then, therefore, once you get off that thing, immediately there will be a restaurant there. Without a restaurant, this entertainment business doesn't exist. Theme park is incomplete. So my next suggestion to these people, the entrepreneurs, is this. You will think about how, in all these rides, you can provide some taste. Something, some spray, something has to happen, and then they can lick like this, and then that's the next big thing that's going to happen. Just, it's still there. Only 4 of the 5 they've taken care of. Okay, so this Jeva Bhogan, and what kind of Bhogan? Divyan. In case you don't understand what Deva Bhogan is, Krishna is saying Divyan. These are all celestial pleasures. Okay, celestial pleasures. And in fact, so I have to tell you, scratch off everything I said about this theme park, because that is Bhumi Bhoga. Bhumi Bhoga is already what you know. Indra, you can't go to Indraloka and say, here is, go, come on, enjoy this theme park all day. I said, what? Theme park? I've been to theme parks. I've seen many theme parks. You will start criticizing Indra there, and Bhagavan will be criticized. So no, you won't have theme park there. This is over. This story is over. There something else must be there. So Divyan, Alaukikan, Shankaracharya says, Alaukikan means not something you're used to. Not something you're used to. And so Divi means Swarge. Divi, Swarge, in Swarga. All this is in Swarga. Okay, these Somapaha, they are going to enjoy all these pleasures in Swarga. They're doing all this yaga, so you can see the purpose is so important. Purpose, why we do things is so important. So, I think we've kind of explained all the words in this thing. So, essentially, Krishna is saying, all these Vedic people also, they also want to go to Swarga. Only difference between Vedic and non-Vedic person is what? One doesn't know what the Veda is, doesn't care what the Veda is. The other knows everything. Top to bottom, that person knows. But both, what is similarity? Both of them want to go to heaven. That's it. That's the only similarity and difference. Okay. So now let's see the translation. Having worshipped me through yajnas, having worshipped me through yajnas, comma, those people who know the 3 Vedas, 3 is within brackets, you have to convert to 4. Okay, those who know the 3 Vedas, comma, who drink the Soma juice, within brackets you have to say in Soma Yaga, in Soma Yaga, comma, and who are purified of papas, pray for access to the heavens.
Pray for access to the heavens. Full stop. Pray for access to the heavens. Having reached the sacred world of Indra, having reached the sacred world of Indra, comma, they enjoy the celestial pleasures, comma, they enjoy the celestial pleasures of the gods in the heavens, of the gods in the heavens. Okay. Having worshipped me through yajnas, those people who know the three Vedas, who drink the soma juice, and who are purified of papas, pray for access to the heavens. Full stop. Having reached the sacred world of Indra, they enjoy the celestial pleasures of the gods in the heavens. So this is understandable. Means what is the difference between Indra, the person Indra, and every other person in Indra Loka? What is the difference? It is exactly like what is the difference between, say, Narendra Modi and every other citizen of India? What is the difference? Both are human beings. Both are going to have similar experiences. Both are mortal. They have mortal bodies. One has a sorted position, responsibility, position, and all that is there. And so, but from an experience perspective, all are identical. Therefore, Sargaloka Vasinaha also will enjoy whatever Devas enjoy. Okay, because that body becomes a Deva's body. Essentially, that person is a Deva. All right, next shloka, number 21. Te tam bhuktva
एतं भुक्त्वा
swargalokam vishalam
स्वर्गलोकं विशालं
क्षीणे पुण्ये
क्षीणे पुण्ये
मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति
मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति
एवं त्रयी धर्मम्
एवं त्रयी धर्मम्
अनुप्रपन्नाः
अनुप्रपन्नाः
गतागतं
गतागतं
कामकामा लभन्ते
कामकामा लभन्ते
ते तं भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं विशालम्
एतं भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं विशालम्
क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति
क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति
एवं त्रयी धर्ममनुप्रपन्नाः
एवं त्रयी धर्ममनुप्रपन्नाः
गतागतं कामकामा लभन्ते
तथा कथं काम काम लभन्ते.
So now he is, let's see what he says. Okay, te tam bhuktva. They mean they, those people, those somapaha, those putapapaha, those traividyaha. Okay, they tam bhuktva, having enjoyed bhuktva, bhuj, tam bhuktva. Tam means what? Swargalokam. Okay, that's Swargalokam. Surendra Lokam, not Swargalokam. Here only he uses the word Swargalokam. Surendra Lokam. Okay, bhuktva. Punyam Surendra Lokam Bhuktva. Then what happens? Having enjoyed all that, and he's explaining here Swargalokam, yeah, Swargalokam Bhuktva. Okay, that heaven, having enjoyed it. And how do you enjoy it in Swarga? Sankalpa Matrena. This is a very specific word they use for this heavenly enjoyment. Okay, because here we won't know this kind of enjoyment. So Sankalpa Matrena means what? All you have to do is think of something. Okay, I want to enjoy rasgulla. That's it. You will get rasgulla and you can enjoy it.
All this making, cooking, ordering this, that, it's all waste of time. Going on the phone app and then order all these things. That's how Bhuloka, not Indraloka. This kind of pain is not there. All you have to do is think. You got a desire for it, you got it. That's it. Over. So it's called Sankalpa Matrena Bhuktva. Okay, they use this word. Why? Because so Shakti is there. That kind of Shakti is there in that word. Divya Shakti. And so this is also one type of Shakti. And so like that. Swargalokam Bhuktva. And then Swargalokam, he's giving an adjective here. Vishalam, he says. Vishalam. Is it how big or how small it is? Okay. It's Vishala. It is not like, Mumbai, you go on these trains, Mumbai trains, if you have to go to office, you want to use public transport because you're very environmentally conscious, and then you use public transport and then you get a shock because there is no standing room only, they say, but there is no standing room also in those trains and buses. That too in peak times. No room at all. So where? Standing room. Okay. So it is packed, completely packed. And okay, bus completely packed. What about streets? Streets also quite packed. Okay. And somebody was telling me the other day, she's one of our students in Sanskrit class, and she's from Scotland, I think. And she's saying, you walk and then you don't see people for some time. For some time, you don't see people. In India, it's not like that. Just people are there everywhere. We just love people and we like each other. So what type of world it is? Tell me a little more, And so is it like that, etc. Or is it like Tokyo? Tokyo is very interesting. They live in apartments. Young people when they look for a job, and they look for apartments because they have started working now. And the problem is only one problem. Cost of living is very high. Can't afford it. They can't afford it. Their salary exceeds the salary itself. And so what they have to do is they have come up with what's called micro apartments. How many of you have heard of micro apartments? Yeah, few of you have heard of
They are sleep pods. Guruji. Sleep pods. Sleep pods. It is just a sleep pod to sleep. That's it.
Pods.
Yeah.
Pods. Pods. Correct. So these things are absolutely amazing because 50 square feet. Okay. So people come to my apartment and say it's a pretty small apartment, 300 square feet. But 300 square feet is not small compared to this 50 square feet. Floor is 50 square feet. That means 10 feet by 5 feet. 5 feet, 10 feet. Okay, I can imagine that. And then that's not enough. 100 square feet. Oh, look up there. Oh, loft area, this, that, etc. Another 100. Then how do you go up there? Look at that ladder there. Oh, I see. So that's where your bed is? Yeah, that's where my bed is. And the other music system and all that is there. And somehow they arranged it. Absolutely amazing. And they say astonishingly tiny apartments. And you talk to some people, said, I love this. It seems one lady is saying, what happened? No, the previous apartment was a little too big for me. And there's some dead space, it seems. Dead space was there. And I used to accumulate a lot, it seems. 100 square feet apartment, she used to accumulate a lot. Now she's come to a 50 square feet apartment. I said, good. This is the right way to go because the way things are going. Yesterday there was a discussion with Swamiji in our class. We were talking about a problem. The problem is Hindus, they cremate dead bodies. We burn the dead body. We don't need real estate. Whereas those people, they're burying the bodies. And you need real estate for that. And so, what kind of problems we have. So if you have a Hindu conference, then these are some of the topics we ought to talk about. Like that, some topic came up. So I like this micro apartments, pods, and all that. It's I think it's good as long as you're happy. Just enjoy it. Make sure you don't get suffocated there. I mean, people who used to vast spaces, they cannot handle all this, and there the free internet they are providing it in these apartments. So there is no demand is not at all reducing. Demand is constantly going up. It seems there's no sign of any abatement of demand. And so because 20s and 30s, then they can save some money, etc. And they're alone, so they can handle all this. And so I don't know what family people and all. I don't know. This life is difficult to imagine. So anyway, so then, but then Swarga Lokam is not like that. We'll guarantee it's not like that. It's Vishalam, very vast, very big, very big. So see, when we live in all these cities, it's hard to imagine places that are not cramped, not cramped. So, they say in Texas, in America, there is a state called Texas. And Texas is a big state. Okay. Big means what? You have to ask me. Suppose you sit in your car and you want to drive from the western part of Texas to the eastern part of the state. Just one state. There are 50 plus states in America. Okay. One state only we are talking about. It is the state that is bordering Mexico. Right north of Mexico is Texas. And so western, if you sit in the car and you start driving, and highways are very good, and you can drive at say 70 miles an hour. 70 miles an hour is something like 110, 120 kilometers an hour. Okay, and you keep on driving. Drive. It will take you 15 hours. 15 hours to go from the western part of Texas, and you're still in Texas, and then you'll go to the next state. Okay, west to east, some Louisiana, something next state will come, and so 15 hours it takes. It is some 1,000 miles or something mind-boggling it is. Okay, and so this is how big Texas, and therefore in America they give a name to every state. They have a tagline. Every state has a tagline. In India, I have not seen that. I don't think so. They don't even have a flag. But in America, every state has a flag. Every state has a tagline. And the tagline for Texas is a whole other country. A whole other country it is. You can't call it state and all. It's what word are you using? State and all that. We are a different country, okay? You give us some respect here. We are not ordinary people. And so Texans, okay? And like that, it's big. And America also is big compared to India. Population and all, if you compare. More than twice the area of India. North South India to the Kashmir to Kanyakumari in India is about, you can say it's about some 3,000 kilometers. East West also is about 3,000 kilometers, which is about 1,600, 700 miles. Okay. And so that's North South. US also is actually slightly less than that. Northern border to southern border. Less, slightly, but approximately same. East West, double the size, double the width of India. Double the width. And maybe even more. Okay. So obviously the area is bigger. So twice, maybe even 2.5 times area. Population, of course, is 1/3. I don't know. Maybe now those days I used to say 1/3, but now it could be even 1/4. America population would be 1/4 of India's population. So you can see the population density is very much smaller. 1/10 the population density of India, and so Vishalam. Vishalam means I'm giving you all these examples to think. You have to go outside the box. You have to think outside the box because some of us are not used. We are all cramped. We are hitting each other here, and so we have to think like that. And so we also have those Vishalam places here on Bhuloka, and Swargalokam is definitely Vishalam. And then Te Tam Swargalokam Vishalam Bhuktva, having enjoyed that, what happens to them? This is where Bhagavan Krishna is going to throw an atom bomb. Okay. And he says, Kshine Punye. See, the problem in Indraloka, one more problem is there. See, you have to exhaust your punyam, your cash, punya cash, you have to exhaust to go to Swargaloka. You can't say, I am going to earn, as I spend money, I will earn money also, right? That's what we do all the time. And so I will earn some punya also there. You can't do that. Predominantly Bhoga Bhumi, there is no punya, the Kartritvam almost is not there, and therefore you can't earn punyam also. Means it's like going to a vacation, you can't earn money. It means you have to return to your job, and that's the thing. But yahan par aisa nahi hai. I was thinking yesterday when I was reading, I was thinking what example I can give. I got an example. It is like this newly married couple, and one of them is working abroad, and they came to India, got married, and then the couple goes back to America. This guy is in H1 visa. She comes on what is called H4 visa. Those days, again, these days I don't know what it is. H4, and first few months it's all great. Okay, all new country, new place, new friends, and roads are all roads. You see, there's not a single pothole in the road. Cars are all everything air conditioned. Everything is great. After 3 months, 4 months, then the problem strikes. You know what strikes? This H4, the lady can't work. She's highly qualified. She's been working in Infosys and she's an expert, but she can't work. Imagine having a qualified person ask them not to work. How will it be? And so this boredom, then boredom comes. Then slowly boredom becomes depression. This happens. Why? Because you can't cut through them. Is there but can't be used. Say this exactly. Swargaloka is like that. But I think you can't get depressed in Swargaloka because that's a result of papam, and the papam doesn't play a role in Swargaloka. And so, but at least from the fact that you can't earn anything, that example, you take it. And so that is only Bhoga Bhumi. And then Karma Bhumi you need a Karma Bhumi for gaining punya. Therefore, Krishna is saying, Kshine Punye Martyalokam Vishanti. Punye Kshine Sati, Sanskrit student, Sati Saptami. Okay. So, Punyam, Kshinam, after the Punyam becomes Kshinam, after it gets exhausted, okay, after it gets exhausted, what happens? Vishanti, they enter what? Martyalokam. They enter Martyalokam. This world, so-called earth like world, they will enter. And so there also that their visa expires. Only visa, you can only go to Swarga and visa. And you can't say I'll go to Swarga and I'll marry Ramba and then become a naturalized citizen. And Ramba, that won't work. According to our Shastra, I don't know, but Shastra is saying that, okay, I'll marry. That won't work. In Swarga, it will not work. No naturalized citizenship in Swarga. And so you can enjoy here 6-month visitor visa they give. There you can get a much longer visa they give. They're more lenient there. And then when the punya gets exhausted, Matya Lokam Vishanti. Even Indra, same fate. Okay, Indra also same fate. And so at least in America, what you can do is, see, some people, when they get out of status and all, they're stuck, and then what they do is they escape the law. And then they become like taxi drivers in New York. Many taxi drivers in New York, their legal status is very shaky. And how I learned all this, once I got a call from somebody, a good friend, and said, it seems that person's friend came to America and to a university or something, and then after that the parents did not hear anything from him. 2 years have happened, they have not heard from this boy, this man. And they said that, okay, this university he went, etc. They said. Then I made some calls to that university and all. Somehow, I don't know, this is long ago, some 25 years ago. And then I heard that somebody told me this man lost some status and he's become a taxi driver. And he stopped calling home. That's it, over. Because I think he's hiding from the authorities or something like that. But let him be happy, whatever. At least that you can do in New York. Okay, but in Swarga, you can't do all that. Swarga is like Singapore when it comes to law enforcement. They track you. Like, if you have this telephone has the SIM card. Like this, I think they put a SIM card in the body or something. I don't know. We need to talk to some Singaporeans. Ami and all, we need to call her. And they track everything, every move. And it's just absolutely amazing. So that's it. You can't escape the law there. Okay. And so, Punya Kshine Sati, what happens? You have to come back to Swargaloka. Swargaloka. And come back to, so Swamiji will say, you have to come back to Chennai and put up with the mosquitoes. And because Papam is there waiting, what to do? Only by exhausting the Papam we can do it. So this permanent, eternal heaven and all, at least Krishna says, not possible. Not possible. And you think Chennai mosquitoes is bad scene? No. Swamiji says, wait. In Mundaka Upanishad, there is a mantra. It says, Nakasya prishte te sukrite anubhutva. Bhutva, just like bhuktva here, anubhutva, having experienced the great things, Nakasya, means Swargasya, of Swarga, then what happens? Imam lokam, this world, Vishanti, they will enter. Heenataram va. One more thing. Heenataram va. Heenam means inferior. Heenataram means more inferior. This world or more inferior than this world. That is why when somebody offers you Chennai and mosquitoes, don't reject it immediately. Think twice. Think twice. Then okay, just because Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Rasatala, Tala, Patala, so many lokas are there. No, Chennai is definitely a great place compared to all those places. So Swami was reminding us that don't blame Chennai like that. Okay, and so now okay, it's 7:30 now, and we should continue. Even I didn't feel the passage. That's why I have a clock in front of me, because we have to watch the time. And so there are a few more interesting things I wanted to say, and so we will continue this discussion. Anyway, the shloka, there are a lot more things in the shloka we talked about. So this is the Atamam that Bhagavan Krishna throws. Says, Swargam, you are welcome to go. Nothing wrong with it. But it has its limitations. Bhakti lokam vishanti. Okay? We'll continue this discussion. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.